What's up? LMG. And in today's video, I want to talk about what I feed my ladies. I use mostly advanced nutrients with the exception of a couple other things. And I want to share with you guys some of the things I learned about these products. Now I know the big knock on advanced nutrients is the price, but I feel like if you keep it simple, it's really not that bad. So let's get started. Real quick, I want to talk about the bottles. I'm not a big fan of the bottles that they come in. They're kind of a pain in the ass to open and close. So I just transfer everything into these bottles that have a little pop top lid on them, and it makes mixing super easy and fast. So for my base, I use Scentsy Bloom Coco, and I use it throughout the entire grow, even when I'm in veg, and I've never had an issue. The A is your nitrogen, and the B is your phosphorus and potassium. I just find it much easier to buy and store less stuff, and it works great. So this has pH perfect technology, and it works really well. But I have discovered that water temperature is important. If my water temps are in the mid-70s, I've run into issues with it not pHing the water properly. But if I keep my water temps in the 60s, it works perfectly every time. Rhino Skin. So Rhino Skin is your potassium silicate. It helps strengthen your stalks and stems. And even though there's other silicas out there that have more concentrated amounts in them, they tend to raise your pH, and this one doesn't. So that's why I use it. One little thing I do with it is I keep a little water in the bottom of a container, and I let the Rhino Skin dissolve in that a few hours before I mix. I use this in veg till around week 6 of flower. Scentsy CalMag Extra. So even though Scentsy Bloom Coco has a little extra CalMag in it, you can never get quite enough CalMag when you're growing in cocoa. So I like to add a little bit more. It also has some iron and kelp, and I use this in veg till about week 2 of flower. Voodoo Juice. So Voodoo Juice are your beneficial bacterias, and it's the most expensive out of all these products, but it's good stuff, and my plants love it. However, it did have an odor when I used to use a reservoir, but as long as I'm feeding my plants right after I mix, there's no problem. I use it in veg and for the first couple weeks of flower. So another product I really like a lot is Roots Accelerated Gold by House & Garden. This stuff is amazing. It has a lot of great things in it. It's a root stimulator. It also has some beneficial bacterias and some mycorrhiza. It's an expensive product, but in my opinion, worth every penny. I don't like the bottle it comes in either, so I transfer into these little eyedropper bottles. Makes mixing super easy. And I use this in veg until about week 2 of flower. Super Thrive. So I use this instead of the B52 by Advanced Nutrients because it's not something I use a whole lot of, just here and there throughout veg. So a little bottle like this will last a long time. Scentsy Zyme. So I really like Scentsy Zyme. They're enzymes to break down plant matter and keep your roots nice and clean. This is a product that I'm generous with because keeping a nice clean root zone is really important, and you're not going to burn your plants with it. I use it throughout the entire grow. Really good stuff. Bud Candy. Everybody knows what Bud Candy is. Your sugars and your carbs to feed your beneficials. I use it throughout the entire grow. Really good stuff. Big Bud Coco. So Big Bud is extra phosphorus and potassium. And the only complaint I have about it is it's very thick and it tends to bind up. So you have to shake the bottle really well. I use it from the time I start to see flowers, which is usually around week 2, all the way until it's time to flush. I've used Bud Igniter and Overdrive, and they're good products too. But I haven't noticed a difference from just using Big Bud, so I find it easier just to use one thing. Nirvana. So Nirvana is my favorite out of all these products. It has a lot of great things in it, like alfalfa meal, earthworm castings, humus, and seaweed extract. And it's not an expensive product. I use it from the time I see flowers until it's time to flush, and I feel like it plays a big part in the flavor and the taste of my flowers. Alright, that's everything I feed my ladies. I hope this video helps somebody out there, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Until the next time, LMG, peace out.